Hey guys, Sean's in the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor, and also the host for the Network Marketing Insider, where I bring on guests that have been in the business for sometimes early, sometimes been in for a long time. They're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, the skills they use, the things that worked for them or are working, and those that weren't working back in the day. You're going to learn some and get some massive value. Those that are watching, please, the least you can do is drop a hashtag live. And also, if you're on the replay, hashtag replay. And throughout the conversation, drop questions you might have and or your favorite emojis because the algorithm loves to have comments. Before I bring on my guest, I want to make sure all of you take a look at Got Backup. It's 6 terabytes of storage for 6 separate accounts for $9.97. If you've ever lost any images and video and data, and if you have Google Drive, if you have Dropbox, iCloud, you're paying more. If you haven't looked at it, definitely look at it because this is an opportunity to earn some money as well with resale rights. If you want to learn more about it, my link is in the description. Don't hesitate, reach out to me as well. I can answer all questions that you might have. Without further ado, let me bring on my next guest. We have Levi with us today. How are you, Levi?
I'm doing great.
I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to drop some value for our friends today. Before we even get into it, Levi, what made you get into network marketing? I always ask my guests so we can find a starting point.
What made me get into network marketing is when I was younger, I saw my dad running his own business. So that made me think that that's something I wanted to do. When I met my first millionaire, that made me fall in love with network marketing.
Having your own business, being your own boss, comes with some issues, though, as far as having that self drive or that motivation or the fire. What is the fire or what lights you up every day to continue working?
The passion to help people achieve their goals, because then I automatically achieve my goals.
And for those that are watching with network marketing, we're leveraging other individuals. So if you are a leader, which I hope most of you want to get involved, if you are a business owner, you want to be a leader, you want to help other people become successful so that in return, you become successful as well. So it's definitely important to keep that in mind. Now, early on, when you first got into it, was the first network marketing company you worked with, was it the one you're doing today, or you had lots of hiccups along the path?
I, of course, I had a lot of hiccups along the past, and you know what? I used to think that it was a bad thing to fail, but it was a it was a good thing for me because I learned what not to do. I learned 1,000 ways of not to do it. um,
You bring up a point there as far as failing. Most people go into network marketing, they're going to fail. Why? Because they don't treat it as a business, they don't work the business. What are
mhm.
some things that in the beginning you failed? What do you mean about that? What were some of the failures in your mind that happened back then when early network marketing days?
Well, not listening to my mentors, thinking I can do it on my own, um, and just being the lone star in the company. Um, that is where a bunch of my failures came from. Not listening, not following the system. Um, and then people come into this industry and think they're just going to sit on their butt and achieve. That's that's where my failures came from.
A lot of people feel the same way. They feel alone. They think they have to sell all of the time. A lot of salespeople get into network marketing and they fail because they're getting all this product sales, but they're
Mhm.
not teaching their team members to do the same thing. That's where you can really exponentially grow by doing less, but doing more with your team. So you said a mentor. The mentors in the beginning, were they doing anything in particular, or a lot of them were kind of like just winging it, do you think? And then you found a mentor that really stuck with you currently?
They were following the system. And if people understand that if you follow a system, because there's a way to do everything, there's a way to bake a cake, there's a way to fix a car, there's a way to run a business. If you follow the system, it'll work. If you decide to go against the system, it won't work. And then you can't say that the company failed you. You failed yourself by not following the system.
100%. Now, in the early days, were you involved with network marketing from the get-go, or did you have some other 9 to 5 jobs that you started early on in your career?
Oh, I had 9 to 5 jobs, yeah. But my passion was always network marketing because that is where the money is. Um, but per se, it's not about all about the money. It's about serving others. Serving others that makes me feel good, and the money will come. But you have to go through the failures to see if you're ready for success. Because how do you know how failure feels if you never fail, or how do you know when you reach success if you've never been there?
I agree with you. And I think today, with people, well, the generation today, they can't deal with failure. They have trouble with failure because there's a lot of rejection in all businesses that you get involved in. You're going to have people saying no. They're going to say different things you're not going to like, but you have to let it go in one ear and out the other and continue moving forward. Now we talk about mindset. Have you been involved with any mindset training? Have you read? Are you going to maybe mentoring meetings on a Zoom? How are you keeping your mind right?
How I keep my mind right is I'm focused on I'm focused. I'm driven. I'm a self-starter. But I do a lot of what do you call that? I do a lot of self-development. I begin my day with self-development. I begin my day with reading scripture, self-development, and I end my day with reading scripture and self-development. So that's what keeps me focused. And I know where I'm going. And if others don't want to see my dreams, that's okay. It's my dreams, not theirs. And that's what keeps me focused, and that's what keeps me going daily. And I see people making it in this industry, and I know if they can do it, I know I got the passion to do it.
No, I definitely agree. And I like when people come on my podcast and I see some background. You have some beautiful images on the wall back there. Can you talk about them and why you put them in your background?
Well, because I'm originally from Jerusalem, and this really brings out um, my, I don't know how to put it. It brings
Like
out
heritage?
heritage. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I want to say. It brings out heritage, and that's it.
No, it's a great culture. And other countries around, that's the other benefit with network marketing. We can globally affect and serve others anywhere in the world. Depending on your company you work with, you can help someone on the other side of the world become wealthy by following a program, a script, or a process to stay the course. But being consistent, that's a difficult thing for most people. They start for a couple weeks and then things are rolling, but they don't get some people things, signed up, and then they have that rejection. And like we've been talking about, dealing with that is important. But now you can help people around the world, which I found. I'm a teacher. I work in New Jersey, and I'm a teacher. I work only kids that are in my classroom. With network marketing, what we're doing here, people are seeing this around the world that we can help. And that's a powerful thing.
Yeah, that is very powerful. Because when I started back in the 90s, I mean, we were doing face-to-face meetings. I mean, we were going to restaurants, and we were having hotel meetings. And when the internet came, I knew it was going to be a big boom. I knew this business was going to go somewhere. And now you can make money even faster on the internet.
Now, what you said earlier, as far as going face to face with people, going to a restaurant, going to the hotel. I have a friend of mine I had on a little while ago who does coffee shop meetings. He'll be
Hmm.
at the coffee shop every day. He'll meet different people, and it's not selling the product or service that you're involved in. It is having a conversation, building relationships. Is that a very important skill, you think, for most people if they're watching, they got to work on to make their business more successful?
Building relationships is very important because if you don't build relationships, how do you know if you can work with somebody? How do you know what their dreams and goals are? If you don't find out what people's dreams and goals are, you can never serve them. That's just how I feel.
100%. And are there other skills that you found in the past that maybe worked that are working today? Or are most of the skills that are today, because it's a lot of it digital, there's some new skills you should be doing that are working in your favor right now?
There is a lot of things I do that are working in my favor right now. I do a lot of um, social media posts. That brings uh, uh, organic traffic. I love it. I will never pay for another lead in my life. I use organic traffic. That brings in people to you. And when you really get to know people on Facebook, they do not care what you know until they know that you care.
Yes.
That's what you have to show. You have to show you care first, provide value, and if they need you, they will come. If they don't need you, they won't come. But they will come if you just keep providing value and don't treat people as a dollar sign.
Yes.
That's what I feel people do on Facebook. They treat you as a dollar sign. They don't get time. I mean, they don't get. I mean, they don't take time to get to know people. You have to really get to know people to get people to know, trust, and like you.
You said something there, which we wouldn't have this conversation. We wouldn't be doing what we're doing right now without social media because full circle, I met Candon, who was on my podcast a few weeks back, if not a month or so back, who introduced me to different people. He used Messenger, and this is strategy that I teach and I share as well. Use Messenger to set us up on a call. We had a call the other day. We
Mm-hmm.
had the great five. We discussed how we're going to set up the podcast and some items that we need. And then I sent you the link and we hopped on. But social media allowed us to make this happen.
Yeah, that's a great tool. Great tool that I'm glad I have in my toolbox. Because without social media, I mean, you can meet one on one, or or you can have these big house parties, and people are not really doing that anymore. Times have changed, and money's coming faster. So you have to get in where you fit in.
Now, with that, you have, not a lot of people doing the in-person stuff, but you can do a meetup on a Zoom. You could do a StreamYard with a number of people. You can have a presentation night. Some companies, I know one I'm involved in, has a weekly, every Wednesday, a Zoom that everyone can go to. The CEO presents, shares all the ideas and strategies, and it's a powerful way to be consistent. And having that, you can, instead of go like Levi was saying, one on one, that's different. Now, if you have a Zoom call with 10 people, and if five of them show up and then two of them join you, that's huge. If you do the one-on-one, it could take a while to get to that too.
Mhm.
So with that, I want to go back to social media because I believe heavily if you're not using social media, something's wrong. You need to be out there in its digital world. What are some tips you can share with people that are working on your posts? What are some things, strategies, ideas that you're posting on a daily?
Curiosity posts work for me. I mean, I go after people to get them in my business, but I don't shove it down their throats. I post about my business about 2 times a day. 2 times a day is all I do it. And it still brings people to me. But like I said, I share more value than I take. It's a give and take relationship.
I like that. The give and take is important, sharing the value. How many did you do your post today?
Yes, I did my post today already.
What was your post about? I didn't see it actually. I'll put you on the spot.
Well,
Do you
my
remember?
post is basically about a company I'm dealing with. I won't say their name, but I'm dealing with them right now, and it was just about how our system works, how we help people grow on autopilot. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like AI," but you know what? AI is where it's going right now.
Yep.
AI is big right now, and if you can find something that can help you duplicate faster than you can duplicate yourself, then why not try it?
No doubt. And it's here. And it's something that will benefit you. And if you don't get involved with it and learn about it, you're going to be in trouble because that's what I also find out with network marketing companies. There's a lot of, I always say it's you learn and earn. You're always in that growth mindset. There might be, like we talked about early on, Levi and I have failures in the past in different companies, but they're not failures. They're learning lessons. There are things you picked up that you use now because of something happened in the past. And you shy away from things that didn't work because you learned from your mistakes, or you should be trying to do that. Now, why do you work so hard? Are you any hobbies you're involved in, or are you traveling a lot? What are some things that you're doing outside of business?
Outside of business, I really just, live a life. I mean, I live a life that I want to live. I don't live life on anybody else's terms. I don't have to get up and go to work. I don't have to get up and eat lunch when I'm told to eat lunch, go home when I'm told to go home, or come to work when I'm told to come to work. I work and live life on my terms. Um, but I had to build that life
Mhm.
before anything. And this business helped me do it.
Where are you located?
I'm located in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
So there's times, guys, anywhere you're watching, there's opportunities in any state in this beautiful country. There's opportunities across the world. And putting in the time in, though, is the important thing. Not even time, trying whatever your friend is promoting that you should get involved in. Because I always say, if you really support me, you would get involved in what I'm doing because I'm so passionate about it. There's like that enthusiasm that comes out there that exudes from our skin because we want people to get involved. But there's a lot of people, I talked about this in the past, have that myth. Oh, it's multi-level marketing. Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh, you're not going to make any money in that stuff. And that's why I got started with this podcast. I want to educate people and help them understand you can if you put the time in and you work. It's network, not just net, right? So you got to do
Mhm.
something.
And people think they can just get into this business and it's going to be microwave quick. No, there's a reason why it's called relationship marketing. You got to build relationships. You don't take time to build relationships. You got to focus on others, not focus just on yourself. Focus on others. Put the focus on other people, and your business will grow.
Well,
That's what
people
I have
either.
found out.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I find out. A lot of people come in here and say, "Oh, I'm a leader. I'm this. I'm that," but they don't walk the walk. And I do not care what you do. If you are not talking the talk and walking the walk, I watch what people do. I don't listen to what people who say they're going to do. I watch what people do. That builds character in a person to me.
Yes, 100%. Now, with your team and how you're building, are you doing anything particular as far as that you share with us that you do on a daily or on a weekly, monthly basis with your team? Do you have certain calls? Do you have teachable moments? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, we have like a mastermind group. And so we get together and we strategize 2 days a week or about 3 days a week. Um, but outside of that, I just use my systems to help me build my business. I don't have to talk to everybody because now we have AI that helps me talk to people. So that's awesome. That's awesome because you are not going to be able to talk to everybody in the world, but I use my systems and that helps me build my business.
Now, with AI, Levi, have you set up a Levi Baker that's AI, that you have a video of you talking, that you kind of, when someone goes into the system, it's you, but it's not you because it's AI?
Well, no, I haven't set up nothing yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it, trust me.
That guys is the way to go. Using video, using a funnel, using strategy and processes will allow you to grow because when you have systems, no matter what business you're involved in, if you have a system, it will work if you work it. That's a powerful thing. Any ways of, we talked about personal development and growing. Are there any books that you recommend those that are watching on any of those strategies as far as mindset, personal growth, building, team, business related kind of books?
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you Think and Grow Rich is my top book. Think and Grow Rich really opened my eyes. I mean, I've read a lot of self development books, but when I opened Think and Grow Rich, it really opened my mind. Really opened my mind. And now I've started to live a more of an abundant lifestyle, meaning that not just one person succeed in a company. If one person wins, we all win. That's what our team is focused on. We're not focused just on just one person winning, because if one person wins, we're all going to win. And that's what keeps this business vibrant. That's why I love internet marketing, because you can basically write your own check. You can write your own check, but you have to stay focused. You have to stay centered. You have to stay humble. And you just got to treat others more than a check. That's how I run my business. That's how I run relationships with people. And if you don't take time to build relationships, how are you going to ever know anybody?
Here's some value if we can get something really deep with Levi. When you're doing the post on social media and someone reaches out to you, can you give us a step by step of what you would do if I saw your post and I said I want more information, Levi, I want to know what the hell you're doing. I need more. Can you share a little bit of what the steps of what you would walk us through if I was going to become part of your team?
I use my tools. I use my tools. I don't say much because the more you say, the more you're going to lose them. And everybody is different. Everybody learns different. Some people say, "Oh, I understand it." If they can't take time to watch a video, they can't take time to go through the process, because that's how you teach people. If they can't take time to go through that process, then I disqualify myself. I kind of give them the treat and then let them want to watch the video. I do not take time um, proving something works because I know it's working. I know it's working. If you can't take time to just go through a video or go through anything you need to do to show how passionate you are, then I don't need you on my team. I don't even want your money because the money's not important to me. If the system is not duplicatable, then I don't want to be involved in that business, period.
Duplication. You've heard it a few times in our conversation, because what happens is if you could teach somebody else how you do it, and then they teach someone else that they know how you do it and they do it, now we're growing. Now we're, making things happen. You're doing things, and everyone works at a different pace. Some people might be more strategic. Some people might take a little bit more of time. But it's something if you follow, and we've talked about it. It's great. I'm trying to dig, guys. We're digging here, right? But as you hear, tools. Use the tools that your team uses. Use the tools that your company uses. It's there for a reason. It's here for education. And if it's kind of like a qualification for that prospect, and like Levi was saying, if they don't fit in and they don't want to watch the video, they don't want to do certain things, you don't need them on your team. That's a very important thing to follow, and it will keep you on the level of a trajectory of success because you have other people doing what you're doing.
And when people know that you don't need them, they want to do it more. They want to do it more, but I'm just not here. I mean, like I said, I love making money. But my real passion is helping others. Building relationships is important to me. I mean, just like I said, but that's where my passion is. Building relationships and helping others achieve success. Because my success will come automatically. Just help a little few people have success and your life will change. That's just how I feel.
Well said. Well ending. Guys, if you're just tuning in now, you're going to wait until this uploads to get from the beginning. Drop your questions, drop your comments. Don't forget to share and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. Reach out to Levi. All his information is in the description. Connect with him. Have a conversation. Mention the podcast that you saw and give him a couple takeaways that you gained from this conversation, and listen to his opportunity that he can get you involved in. I'm always here. I appreciate you, Levi, for sharing so much value today. And I'm hoping that everyone else has an amazing rest of your day.
Make it a great day.